Okay, in this assignment we're going to learn how to do something a little bit different. We're going to learn how to make something rotate in a regular way. Alright, and so what we're going to do is we're going to actually experiment with this with a couple of textures that I've already provided you. Alright, so let's go to very simple tool, and these are the primitive tools. Now I am going to suggest, you may notice that there are different types of primitives. There's the beige ones, who are simple primitives, and then there are the green ones, which are NURBs. Metaballs. Metaballs are very, very cool to play with, and I encourage you to play with them. There is also these blue guys, which are called NURBs. Okay. However, one thing you do need to be aware of is, like everything else, those things require more system resources, and when you use them, it does increase the possibility that your computer is going to seize up. So you might want to keep that in mind. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, I've just shown you how to create a sphere by talking over it. You click on the sphere and you just click and drag and it creates a sphere. That's about as easy as you can possibly be. Now again, remember, I always like to keep my things in wireframe as opposed to OpenGL. That will be especially helpful here. Now the other thing I want to do is I want to open up the object information panel, which is under the white arrow. So I'm going to click on that white arrow and I'm going to right click on it. Now what I want to do is I want to create a simple animation. Okay, and all I'm going to do is have this sphere spin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, okay, what do I want to do after 1 second, 30 frames? I hit record, I hit enter, and what I can do is I can adjust any of these rotations. I'm going to have it rotate. If you look around the object information panel, there's all sorts of different possibilities. I'm going to have it rotate 90 degrees around its z-axis. Now that doesn't look like it's doing much, but watch when I hit the play button. Boom, it spins 90 degrees. Isn't that cool? Let's go to 60 seconds. Record, hit enter, and then change it to 180 degrees. And boom, it's going to record, it's going to spin a little more. Let's go 90, record, enter, and make it go negative 90 degrees. Boom. Let's see what it does. And then finally, we're going to go to 120 frames, hit record, hit enter, and then go back to 0. Okay, you notice that I went you notice I went for degrees, I went from 90, 180, negative 90, and 0. For some reason, if you type in 270, it just goes to negative 90, okay? So if you take a look, and you'll notice that it makes one complete revolution. Now, there's another tool I'm going to show you, and this is the keyframe editor. And this actually shows you, okay, this is the animation. I can actually repeat the entire animation. There's a little button here for repeating, and it'll actually now spin twice. And if I hit the play button, boom, it actually plays to 240 now. All right, that's kind of fun and interesting. But let's take a look, and I'm going to do this the easy way. I'm going to go into the OpenGL mode, and let's play the animation. Watch what happens. Yeah, that's pretty dull. It's just a spinning white sphere. I could put in, say, some sort of texture, and let's paint it that color. Let's paint a brighter texture so you can see it. All right, and watch what happens. And you can actually see it spinning. All right, and you guys can play with this, and this is your next assignment is going to be to create an animation. However, just because I want you guys to learn some stuff and I want to kind of maybe give you a little direction that you might want to go in, let's open up this folder here. This is the file browser. All right, and I'm actually going to go in and I'm actually going to look at some images. Now, actually, I just realized something. I neglected to do one step, and that I'm going to do right now. So let's go to my 3D modeling page. Whoops. Let's go to Moodle. Okay. And it looks like I don't have it, so I'm going to have to pause this for a second. Okay, guys, what I did is I logged back into Moodle so you guys could see this, all right? And you notice I have a folder in Unit 9 called Space Textures. So you're going to click on that, and I got a whole bunch of really cool images for you. And what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to open them and then go Save Picture As, and then put it in a folder in your H drive called 3D Modeling. Okay? And I said yes. All right, and just because I'm here, I'm going to open up the moon texture. Save Picture As. We'll put the moon in there. And I'm not going to talk to you. You guys can experiment with the other different types of tutorials too as well to see what they do. All right, actually, I'm a big liar. I'm actually going to put the star texture there too, say picture S. Now, one of the things you need to realize, if you don't like these textures, well, the Earth and the Moon texture you really need to do, and we'll talk about why that is in a little while. All right, but the background texture can be anything you want. Okay, so I'm going to minimize this now, and I'm going to go back to TrueSpace, and let's go browsing for those textures. I'm going to click on the little browser, this little folder thing, and I'm going to go to J. Rusconi on H, my computer. Okay, my computer, my H drive, 3D. Okay. And you notice they now have all these choices, and I'm just going to take this Earth map and drag it right there. Whoops, I need to reset it. Now I'm going to drag the Earth map on top. And I want you to notice something. You notice when I paint this pretty picture of the Earth map, this is what's called a tiled image. It has been stretched in such a way that if you paint it onto a sphere, it's actually seamless. Watch what happens when I have it spinning. You notice that it actually wraps around and it looks seamless. It looks like an actual globe. That's what the purpose of that is. The other thing, the same is actually true. I think the same might be true of this moon texture, if I did it right. Yeah, if you look real carefully, you may notice that there is no seam on that. That's because some person, I actually got these off of the web, this person actually stretched out all of the images of the moon on both sides and on the Earth on both sides, so it actually is seamless. All right, that'll become a little bit more logical later on. So anyway, this is how you can make textures and you can put objects into your textures. All right, so that's it for now. That's this assignment, and let's move on.